This is Chris with the original tractor cab. Today we're installing our 50080 sunshade cab made for the John Deere S1 and 200 series. Let's get started. Using a 10mm socket, we're going to remove the bolts holding the springs down in place. First, we're going to install the receivers onto the tractor using a 1 by 1.25 inch bolt going through this hole right here. To start off, we're going to place a 1/4 inch nylock washer into this hole here on the tractor. Some of them don't have a plastic clip to hold that in place, so you'll have to place it from underneath with your washer and nylock nut. Then place your bolt through the hole in the receiver, down through that nylon washer. Then add your 1/4 inch flat washer and a nylock nut from underneath. Then we'll place the springs back on top of the receiver, replacing the factory bolt with a M8 by 30mm bolt and a 5/16 flat washer. Once it's tightened all the way down, we're going to take a M8 nut and place it on the underside of the bolt. Once that's tightened, tighten the other bolt on the receiver, then repeat for the left side. For our next step, we're going to assemble the sunshade frame. This step is easier if you have a table to lay everything out on. We're going to start off with putting together the 2 pieces for the front of the frame. Then we're going to place our rear bow half onto the inside, lining up the 2 holes. Then take a 1/4 by 3/4 bolt and go through the rear hole. Same for the other side. Then grab the top bow and it will go on the outside. And then grab 2 more 3/4 bolts and install them the same. Go ahead and tighten the bolts, leaving the top bow leaning about 4 degrees forward of vertical. Once those bolts are tightened, we're going to attach the rear post to the 2 inner holes at the rear using 2 3/4 inch bolts. Leave the bolts finger tight and your frame will look like this. Next, we're going to attach the side braces to the rest of the frame. Once the braces are installed finger tight, we'll place the frame into the receivers and tighten everything down. This is how the bolts attach on the side. This is how they attach at the rear. And this is how they attach to the bottom. Now install the frame into the receivers. Then tighten the frame. Once you are done tightening the bolts, if you are installing this as a sunshade, you will install the rear screen panel and then the top cover. If you are installing this as the full cab, we'll move on to installing the dash brackets. Place a 1/4 inch nylon spacer into the hole in the dash. It might be a little tight, so you might only just get it started. Then the bracket will push it the rest of the way in. Take a 1/4 by 2 inch bolt and place it through the hole in the bracket, then through the spacer like shown. Then add a 1/4 inch Whizlock nut underneath. But do not fully tighten. Then we'll attach the front posts to the dash brackets using 1/4 by 3/4 inch bolts and nylock nuts, but we'll leave it finger tight. Place the bolt through the front post, then through the bracket, and add a nylock nut. Next, we'll place 2 U-clamps on the side of the frame, about 2 inches from the front on each side. Then we'll attach our side post using a 1/4 by 1.25 inch bolt through the end of the post with the smaller hole, then through the U-clamp, and then place the front post on the opposite side of the U-clamp, then add a nylock nut. Finger tighten at this time. Next, we'll install the step plate clamps. You'll start by threading a 5/16 by 1.5 inch bolt through the clamp. Then you'll place the shim onto the clamp, and your step plate will go in between the shim and the clamp. You're going to place this clamp with the center of the nut about 17 inches from the front of the rear tire. So having the center of the nut right here. It doesn't have to be exact, but you want to be pretty close. Once you have it figured out where you're placing it, go ahead and tighten the bolt. Once the clamp is tightened down, take a 5/16 by 3/4 bolt and add a 5/16 nut. Go ahead and thread it all the way onto the bolt. Then attach the side post to the step plate. Snug the bolt, then using a wrench, tighten down the jam nut. Now you'll tighten all the bolts left loose from the previous steps. This is how the frame will look once everything's fully installed. Now it's time to install the windshield. We'll place the windshield onto the front of the frame, then we'll wrap the Velcro around the front of the top frame, and once that's attached, we'll attach the Velcro wraps to the side posts. Now we'll attach the rear panel, wrapping the Velcro wrap at the top around the top frame. Once you have it attached at the top, you'll adjust the magnets at the bottom. Next, we'll install the side panels, once again wrapping the Velcro loops around the top frame. Once the loops are attached, you'll connect the zipper between the rear panel and the side panel, and then attach the loops to the side post at the front of the panel. and attach the Velcro between the front panel and the side panel. The straps on the windshield are there so you can roll the side panels out of the way if needed. This is how the Velcro loops attach to the side post. Then how the front panel attaches around the top frame. How the side panel goes around the top frame. Then how the rear panel goes around the top frame. Once the side panels are attached, we'll install our top cover. And that's the installation of our sunshade cab number 50080. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Once again, I'm Chris with the Original Tractor Cab. Have a good day.